Good morning and welcome to my channel. It's raining outside, and so I thought I bring you guys to my nook up here. And yeah, my name is Joyce for those who are new here. And on this channel, you'll find a lot of stuff on personal development, personal responsibility, personal accountability, and personal growth. Too many P's, right? But that's what I do, and I my whole journey is about helping people focus on improving themselves so that they can improve the world around them. Today, I wanted to talk about a conversation that is okay. It's been relevant for a minute, but it's also something that has happened to me quite recently, and that is in the circle of friendship and when to know when a friendship is done. And I think for women, that sometimes is a bit of a bone of contention, and it's purely because we are relational people, and that's not to say men are not. I'm sure if you're on this channel, you definitely are. We want to make the world a better place. Friendships mean a lot to us, whether that's with our family members or with people that we encounter in our world that we want to bring into our inner circle. And that's okay. But I think the secret is in understanding when it is time to pivot, when it's time to close the book to a friendship. Now, a lot of people really do pride themselves in having relationships that have lasted 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. You know, it's almost like a badge of honor when we say, oh, I've known this person for 20 years, or I've known this person since, primary school or nursery school. But actually, what has been the depth and the breadth of that relationship? Is it somebody that you call once a year? That's not really a friendship, is it? Is it somebody that you send a Christmas card to, or, whatever your holiday is? Is it that kind of person? But I think for me, I tend to develop a few very close relationships. And to me, they mean the world. I am loyal to the core, and I will support you through whatever. As long as I understand that that is reciprocal and that there is a time when that is paid back to me. That's not to say a friendship is about what can you give me, but actually for a healthy relationship, there has to be those elements where I support you, you support me. There's an equilibrium, there's a balance in that relationship. And so if you're not on the same page, what are you doing? And the same page might be, this is what we want from a friendship, and this is what we're willing to do, and these are the mountains or rivers I'm willing to climb and cross for you. Now, I had a recent experience that reminded me that I was I was investing too much in a relationship that wasn't necessarily reciprocal. And it boiled down to, I know, very normal for women, I was not invited into a very intimate wedding. Now, I recognize that wedding was a very small number of people who were attending, who were close, most of them being family members, and that a year from now there was going to be a big wedding a big celebration where all of the friends and family and people that didn't attend the first one would be invited to. I wasn't invited into the intimate one. And the reason why I decided it's time to pivot from that relationship, and this may be controversial, is because I would have, if I was going to remarry, she would be the person that would be part of that life, or part of that core people that were in the initial exchange of vows. Because to me, that's how I valued that relationship. That's how I saw her. That's how I rode for her and went for her. That relationship for me was closer than, I guess, for her. And while there is a feeling of, oh my gosh, I didn't recognize that that's how you saw me, because I saw you very differently. I mean, we, for the past 8 years, we went on a bender together. Excuse me. That's not to say I'm a drunk, but I do go out with my friends when I need to, and I do know how to have a good time. And so for me, she was that person that I would call upon when things went wrong, when things were good. I shared those moments with her, perhaps closer than some of my family members. And so I recognize at that moment when she spoke to me and explained to me, she actually emailed me, texted me to say, oh, I've got some info I need to share with you. We booked this and it's happening on this day. It's very intimate. We're only having this number of people. But please save this date for 2025 because you will be coming to my wedding, my celebration then. And I realized it was almost like an aha moment, because I thought she was phoning me to invite me, but she was actually telling me, this is really important to me. I'm sharing with you. You're not part of the call, but I want you to know that this is happening. So in a way, she did value that friendship. But then I realized not enough as I valued her. And it was time for me to pivot. Now, my thoughts around this is that, I've always never been afraid to let go of things that don't serve me. And as much as I think it's really important to have people in your life that have known a lot about you, it's equally important for people in your life to be people that you want in your life and that also want to be part of your life, to the level that this is a shared agreement. This is something that we both feel equally important to both of us, not just one of us. And so what I am going to do about it, because it's still very fresh, the wedding is not for another 2 weeks, is to have that conversation after her honeymoon period and all of that stuff. So maybe closer to Christmas, really, and just say, this is what happened. It's been great, but I realized that we're not in the same pages. This was why I realized. And it's time for us to reevaluate this relationship. Now, for you, you might be different. And the only reason I'm doing it is because I've known her for, this would be the 9th year, coming up to the 9th year. Usually, I would just ghost. Says a lot about me, doesn't it? If I haven't known you for a long time, I'll just ghost. What's the point? I don't know you that long. I don't owe you anything. But this one, I feel like I owe the explanation before I walk away. And that's how I'm going to handle it. And I wonder what it is for you. When was that moment where you found out that a relationship wasn't working, and what did you do about it? Because I'm sure I'm not the first one, right, to get this kind of reception from somebody I thought was my friend. And I'm not saying that those 8 years were not fruitful. We did some great things. We have some great memories, right? And I'll take that to my grave because it's been wonderful. But I think it's time. And sometimes it's okay to recognize that this is not about me, this is about her. So I'm very clear about not projecting on what I did wrong, because I didn't, right? It's just about how her world is like and how it's shaped. And I recognize for my spacing in her world, it's not as intimate as I thought it was. And that's okay, because it's her prerogative. So I hope that's been helpful to you. If you're going through something, if you haven't gone through this, you will at some point, because it's a crazy world out there, and it's a beautiful world too, because everything is a lesson, and this is my lesson. I hope it's helpful to you. Have an incredible day, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take good care.